Well, lads, this was meant to be the fairy tale story, but unfortunately for Atalanta, they just couldn't hold on in the end.
No, they just died at the end, unfortunately. They nearly got there. They got to the 90th minute. They played very well. They played courageously. They attacked when they could. They left those three centre-backs on their own for a lot of the match. As the game went on, they settled into a five at the back. PSG dominated possession. They were making opportunities, not loads of opportunities, made clear ones in the first half, a couple of half ones in the second half. But they eventually got there in the end through the brilliance of the stars, Neymar and Mbappe when he came on. But that lad, he scored a goal tonight, and I'd say without doubt it's the most important goal he's scored in his career. I mean, you mentioned Stoke.
Choupo-Moting, is he the hero of the night, do you think?
I think so. He was at Mainz and he was at Schalke and he scored a few goals. He was never prolific. He got 5 for Stoke in 30 matches. The season Stoke were relegated, 2017-18. But his creation of the goal tonight in the cross on the first one was so important. The second one mattered as the winner, but the earlier one was much more important. It was a great night for him, and relief, I'd say, is the feeling for PSG.
Yeah, and you mentioned the other big names there as well, Neymar being one of them. He completed 16 dribbles in this match, which is more than Messi. Is the last time they did against Man United back in 2008. You were oohing and on about him in the first half.
In the first half, I was, because I haven't always been his biggest fan. I thought at times he's acted the maggot and he's been a bit of an egomaniac at times, and it doesn't sit particularly well with me because you know what he's capable of producing, and you touched on Messi there. The thought process behind bringing him to the football club was he was going to be their Messi, their Ronaldo, and this is what he has to do. He has to grab games by the scruff of the neck at this type of level, not domestically in France, and he's got to drive them forward. He was like the Lone Ranger in the first half. He was causing all kinds of problems. Caldara was trying to deal with him in 1v1 situations, and it just wasn't really happening because he was left isolated. This one he should have done better. The only flaw tonight was that he left his shooting boots at home. In the second half, what happened was they were less man-to-man. Brian just touched on, they dropped back into a 5. They had a little bit more defensive nous about their game, Atalanta, in the second half. And they played him a lot more respect. They got numbers around him, but he still produced little moments of absolute magic. I thought he was very, very impressive tonight.
You agree, Brian?
Yeah, and look, he should have scored the chances in the first half, and it would have made it a lot easier for his team rather than the nerve-wracking end they had to go through to find a way to get over the line. But his running with the ball caused havoc. Look at, you know, Caldara there pulled out. I think they had 6 yellow cards, Atalanta, and 4 of them went to players who pulled him back or fouled him. So they were lucky they didn't get somebody sent off in the match, which would have made it easier for PSG. But he will be the better of the match tonight as well for the semi-final.
He did have that little lull in the second half. Did Mbappe make the difference for him when he came on to support him? Well,
he certainly helped, didn't he? Obviously, with his impact, first and foremost. And then what happens is you've got to think about the two of them then at that stage. There's a little bit more space for them to go and play. But when he did come into the equation, he gave them something pretty special.
Well, he had 56% of PSG's shots in this match came in the 30 minutes that Mbappe was on that pitch.
Yeah, but I do think the best chances were in the first half, and in particular with Neymar. But look, we can't be too surprised. This fella's top quality. He is a Ballon d'Or winner of the future. There's no doubt about it. He is an outstanding talent.
I think he looked tonight like he needs a match. There's no doubt he needs a match or two. He was, I would have said, he was striding away from people when he got torn, but he just looked like a sharpness of his finishing wasn't there. We'll see him getting a chance or two that normally he would finish. That was a heavy touch, and that was a pure shot by his standards. And there's another one later than that. Well, great ball here, lovely little turn past the defender, rolls him. And that you would have expected him to score when he's at his best. But brilliant goalkeeping.
Do you start him in the semi-final?
Well, I don't. It's not my choice. But if I was,
would you?
if I was Thomas Tuchel, I think I would, because you don't get another chance. They almost got beaten in the 1-off tonight by Atalanta, and that's the danger of the one-off match on a two-legged semi-final. I would think they would have beaten Atalanta easier. But tonight they almost didn't make the semi-final.
They did get 2 late goals though in the end.
They did get 2 late goals in, but I'd play your best team in the semi-final at the start, unless he is still not fit at all.
Did he look fit enough tonight?
Well, I said he wasn't sharp. He looked fit, but this is Choupo-Moting doing his thing. Great ball, great time, and Neymar picks up a lovely position. Lovely touch on his tie. He takes on his tie and then he knocks across the goal. He's very lucky. He hits off a couple of the Atalanta players as it's going across. And eventually Marquinhos, not known for his finishing, shows why he's not known for his finishing. He just pokes it and it hits Caldara and goes by his own goalkeeper there.
And were you impressed with that as well, Keith?
Yeah, look, I didn't see it coming, if I'm being entirely honest. I felt they would do enough.
And this was then
Atalanta.
149 seconds later.
Look, it's high up the pitch, the body's forward. It's the way Atalanta play the game, so we can't be too critical. They're probably shell-shocked even with the equaliser, but I touched on it before. What you get with PSG and the type of players that they've invested in, Neymar being the one here, this pass, that's exquisite. Like, there's no getting away from it. That is absolutely exquisite. And if you look at Mbappe, this looks a very easy pass across goal for Choupo-Moting. How many times have you seen players shoot from there when the angle's not against them? It's a brilliant touch for career. Steps in. That is world class, that ball. It really is. Dissects the whole back line. And that's the quality they've paid for. That ultimately has got them through.
Can PSG take on either Atletico or Leipzig?
The course it can take them on, but either of them could beat them. League slip, I was going to say.
Take them up in the world.
Leipzig have really good attacking ability. They're a highly energetic team and they're well organised and disciplined. And we've seen some dysfunction in the defensive setup there tonight at PSG. Conceded a lot of chances at set pieces. Atletico will try to beat them in a different way. They'll try and play the Atletico way and beat them on the counter-attack.
Well, all these matches are really coming thick and fast.